Strange and Scary Mysteries of the Month is a compilation of the weird, disturbing, and downright baffling stories currently happening in our world. From UFOs and serial killers, to ancient sites, mysterious creatures, and even ghosts. These are the Strange and Scary Mysteries of the Month, April 2017. Number 5. 500 Missing Children. It's not even the middle of the year yet, but reports of missing children and juveniles in the Washington, D.C. area have totaled more than 500 since January alone. Even more surprising is the lack of attention this has received from various news outlets and the Justice Department in general. Many speculate these kids, who are mostly African American and Latino, may possibly have been abducted and are now being used in the sex trafficking underworld. While the police deny there's a sex ring or criminals preying on the city, the evidence points in the other direction. The sheer volume of the cases makes it hard to believe that one individual is causing them. So if there's multiple people behind the kidnappings, then they must have a reason. Preying on those in lower income neighborhoods, the abductors are counting on that to work in their favor. As history shows, the city is simply less likely to create a large investigation for the disenfranchised. As recently as 2014, a veteran police officer was himself caught running a sex ring from inside his own home. When it was searched, a 15-year-old girl who was reported missing by her parents was found, and she said that approximately 6 girls had been in and out of the building, and all of them were prostituted. Around the same time, another cop was also arrested for prostituting 2 teens over 300 times. The police have sought the help of the FBI in trying to figure out whether this is, as they put it, an anomaly or not. Many of those missing are often repeat runaways, but many fear so many more aren't. Today, the police are actively speaking and spreading word about the incidents through their social media platforms. Whether or not that will help in bringing down the number of disappearances is yet to be seen. Number 4. Haunted basement in Brazil. Flickering lights and a heavy door slamming open and shut for no apparent reason. This is exactly what happened when 2 security guards investigated an unusual sound emanating from where they were working. Armed with a camera and flashlights, they found the source of the noise, but not what caused it, making it a very creepy video to watch. This unusual video was captured at the Center for Comprehensive Care for Children and Adolescents in Araucaria, Brazil. It shows a dark hallway with flickering lights and a loud banging up ahead. As they approach the source, you can see a red metal door opening and closing completely on its own. Could this be a real video of a haunting? Skeptics say it's a clever and very terrifying hoax. Check it out and decide for yourself. Number 3. Tennessee teen abducted by her teacher. Abductions happen every day. Some victims are coerced or taken by force. Others can be more subtle, groomed for weeks, months, sometimes even years, by the perpetrator. Many believe this is exactly what happened in the case of 15-year-old Elizabeth Thomas. Elizabeth disappeared on March 13th and was believed to have been abducted by her teacher, 50-year-old Tad Cummins. The two were caught kissing in January, at which time the incident was reported to the police. However, the school allowed Cummins to remain at work, and it was only until after the alleged kidnapping that he was actually fired. Police discovered Cummins had been searching online about teen marriage before the pair disappeared. Meanwhile, Elizabeth went ahead and changed her Instagram bio to read "wife." It was also discovered they had been exchanging emails and draft forms and contacting one another through encrypted messaging systems. Investigators believe Elizabeth may have willingly gone with her teacher, but she is a minor, and so an Amber Alert was issued. One of her siblings was told by Elizabeth to call the police if she did not come home by 6 p.m. on the day she disappeared. Elizabeth's co-workers also testify she would often hide from Cummins every time he visited her. Authorities say this man is armed and has 2 handguns in his possession. The latest surveillance image caught the two buying supplies, and in an effort to disguise their appearance, Cummins has dyed his gray hair into black, while Elizabeth went from a blonde to a redhead. Cummins' wife has since filed for divorce and pleaded for him to return along with the girl. So far, police believe they may have been heading to Mexico if not already there. The Amber Alert is ongoing, and they ask everyone to be vigilant for the pair. Number 2. Strange creature captured on camera. This is perhaps one of the most perplexing pieces of footage to have been captured this year. It was caught on a helmet camera from YouTube user Fredo Graffi, who seems to be an avid dirt bike rider judging from his posts. In this particular video, however, he and his friends were caught by surprise with what they encountered on the trail that day. It seemed like an ordinary trail ride in Indonesia when the leader from the group suddenly gets spooked by a small figure that comes quickly from the right side out of the woods and into their path. In an effort to avoid hitting it, he intentionally stopped his bike by sliding. The rest of the members noticed the unusual creature as it ran off, and one rider, presumably Fredo, attempts to chase it down. The figure moves fast, almost outrunning the dirt bike before eventually dashing off into the brush. The video itself is blurry, but you can clearly see the creature running up ahead before it veered left and disappeared into the tall grass. The rest of the guys eventually caught up and tried to look for it, but couldn't find anything except for the big stick that it was carrying. A lot of people are unsure what to make of the video. Some believe it's a hoax and completely fake, but others say it's the real deal. The region of the forest the bikers were on is known as the Aceh, and so the small tribesman or creature could be a member of the long-lost mythical tribe of Manti. The Manti are widely believed to exist among the locals in the area. Another curious find is that archaeologists were able to unearth small hobbit-like remains in 2003 on the nearby island of Flores. These humans were believed to be 3.5 feet tall and lived in the area around 50,000 years ago. If this is true, is it possible then that these could be the remnants of the tribe that have been left undiscovered for centuries? Many areas in Indonesia still contain large patches of thick forest, and it's possible there are still whole tribes that have avoided modern humans and still remain undiscovered to this day. Number 1. The Angel of Death murdered in prison. Dubbed as the Angel of Death, Donald Harvey was a serial killer, charged with murdering 37 people, but claims to have killed more than 70. Serving as a nurse's aide, he routinely killed patients, claiming he started doing it out of mercy for their pain. However, later on, he did most of the killings whenever he got angry with any patients, and many deaths went undiscovered for almost 17 years. Harvey killed in different ways, including suffocating patients with pillows, leaving oxygen tanks empty on purpose, placing rat poison and petroleum in IVs, and even tainting some sick people with HIV and hepatitis B. However, his preferred method later on became arsenic and cyanide poisoning. The majority of the crimes he committed were in Marymount Hospital in London, Kentucky, the Drake Memorial Hospital in Cincinnati, and the VA Medical Hospital. He also poisoned and murdered neighbors as well as his boyfriend. He was finally caught when a coroner noticed unusual levels of cyanide in some of the bodies of the victims, leading them to investigate and eventually pinpointing Harvey. After taking so many lives, it seems that the angel of death got what he had coming to him. While serving multiple life sentences, Harvey was discovered in his jail cell, severely injured and beaten. An unnamed person had attacked him, but the police did not specify on the type of injuries he suffered. He was put in a medically induced coma for several days before he eventually died on March 30th at the age of 64. So there were the strange and scary mysteries of the month for April 2017. Every day, strange and scary stories are happening all around the world. These are just a handful, but there's still so much more to discover. If you enjoyed this video, then please remember to subscribe to our channel. We have many new scary mysteries coming out every single week that we're sure you'll enjoy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.